And are there any criteria for having the professionals as experts for the hub, or is it more a voluntary contribution?
Yeah, well, of course, you have to be, so one has to be interested at least in the hydrogen space or have some experience working there or finding themselves working there. So, of course, what it takes is an email. Oftentimes we may require a CV, just an email and a CV, and then we can be able to see how to draft this person and just sort of like to express interest. I mean, if anyone goes to our website, Africa Hydrogen Hub, once you type it on the online, you can be able to see the contact details, emails with which you could actually write and write an email and express interest to be part of the hub or express interest to collaborate in one way or the other.
Okay, great. So, by the way, we will share also the links to the website database in the description box. And this leads to my before last question about the hydrogen Africa. Does the African Hydrogen Hub see the perspective of hydrogen in the mid and long term?
Yeah. So, of course, it's developing. We've been observing the Africa hydrogen development for quite some time, so we do have that advantage. Of course, you
Mhm.
can imagine that it started again in the late 2000s and 2020s, and it looks as if it's slowing down, but I think now what happened in the beginning was a lot of talks around it to bring that awareness, and it did pay off in terms of many industries have gone in to take up these projects so boldly. But we are now at a phase where people are now dealing with the implementation of so many African of hydrogen projects across many African countries, dealing with some of the challenges, of course, some of them being reaching financial close and so on and so forth. So I mean, it's going. I think that Africa is also in the right direction. One thing that was also really well pronounced is the governance aspects of hydrogen as well. Does that in to make sure that it does not lead to exploitation, it does not, lead to green colonialism in quote, that that green hydrogen development within the African continent or any hydrogen development, of course, leads to creation of job, say it does not destroy the environment, has that additionality effect and a number of things. So of course, things are going and a lot of lessons have been learned, through the many researches and so many things we've also brought out there. For instance, our report on Africa in a green hydrogen race is a very informative material for any country that wants to consider, going into hydrogen, for instance, because it addresses so many issues, financing, sustainability issues, governance and policy issues, and things like that, that kind of prepares the country. And we've seen, so many countries already kind of get into that mix and doing quite well.
What is like the main high priority challenge for Africa to be part of the like hydrogen international market?
Of course, it's a financing is one of them. Positioning ourselves enough to reach financial close, that's number one. Number two is also to have a very clear demand. Uh, so of course we do have already some structures in place to make sure that there is at least some initial demand. I'm sure you know about the mechanisms in Germany as well, just to kind of take
Yeah.
up. It's called H2 Global. Um, yeah, so just sort of like take up the initial productions, and also we want to see more countries willing to take up produced hydrogen as well. Of course, government incentives, government support needs to increase for this first phase of pilot projects as well. And of course, connecting hydrogen to production of value. I mean, of course, maybe, you've seen the sample in Namibia where green hydrogen is being thought of as, producing green steel, and then exporting green steel. I mean, this is already talking about how industrial development could happen uh, in the midstream of the value chain and so on and so forth. So, I mean, yeah, what we want to see is that hydrogen development creates job, develops industrial development, creates economic growth, and of course, enhances relationships between African countries and other countries surrounding it, like the EU and the rest.
Yeah, this is also the for the H2 Global was also a topic we have discussed in the previous episode as a best practice for Egypt. So my last question, any advice or any message for the audience? Maybe also how they can contribute to the hub because most of them are coming from the professional background in energy and hydrogen.
Mm. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I would like us to, adopt the same framework, the same mindset that African Region Hub adopts. That is to ensure that, the hydrogen race is not a personal, is not an isolated race, right? Of course, different countries that have trajectories, but we should keep each other informed, see it as a race that we can all do together, collaborate together between countries, among countries, among regions, among sectors. We want to see more public-private partnerships. We want to see more regional partnerships, in terms of knowledge sharing, in terms of learning, in terms of investing and financing these projects, in terms of governing this project. So that is one thing I would like the stakeholders to take home, that unified mind shift. Because one of the findings we have, for instance, is that working together, number one, enhances overall benefits. Because when one country is lacking in one skill or in one resource or in one
And
capability, that can be complemented with another, and then both of them can come, enhance the economies of scale of hydrogen production, for instance. Yeah, so kind of having that mentality of collaboration to maximize the benefits of hydrogen development, or in fact to make it reach financial close earlier on. So I invite all of you to write us an email, contact us if you would like to be a stakeholder, you would like to be added to the stakeholder database, or if you want to collaborate with us in any way form. We write papers, we write memos, we organize events, we do trainings, stakeholder trainings, and we do workshops, ideation workshops. We do advisory services and consulting services also to people who would like to get into the hydrogen sector in African countries. Thank you.
are the events also published on the website, or is mostly you advise to check LinkedIn for the any upcoming activities?
Yeah, it's on website. Follow us on LinkedIn as well. We're on different social media. We're on LinkedIn, for instance. We're very active there. We're also on WhatsApp. So we would typically announce and publicize these events on LinkedIn, on our website, on WhatsApp. So people on our emails for people who are in our database. As I said, if you write us an email, you get into our database or stakeholder database, you would also get an email to that. So it's our webinars are really usually very, very exciting and very, very packed with a lot of knowledge. Yeah, because we do select really very, very high level experts to discuss those things. So I mean, this is something that many people look forward to. And so we try to make sure that we inform as many people as possible when we organize the next ones. Yeah.
Great. So thank you again. Very interesting discussion. And also for the audience, do not hesitate to have to ask or give feedback for Dr. Chigozie about this episode, whether here in the on YouTube or on our LinkedIn page, Naka Podcast. Thank you again, Dr. Chigozie, for your availability, and see you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neha. Nice to talk with you. Take care.
Thanks.